Do you want your online store to be ultra-fast, fully customized to your needs, and scalable to more than 1 billion items? IMEOS is an ultra-fast PHP e-commerce framework. IMEOS, next level e-commerce. Try it now.
If you're running an application at scale in public or private clouds, you have to tame almost boundless complexity. Datadog brings together all this observability data with infrastructure metrics, traces, and logs in one integrated platform.
Vonage is a cloud communication platform that lets you integrate voice, video, and messaging into your applications. We have a load of helper libraries, including a Laravel package and a client library for PHP. You can find out more about us at developer.nexmo.com.
Wherever and whenever you are, I hope you're having a good time and welcome to my talk today. I want to take you from a fresh install of PhpStorm to a master setup in 30 minutes. So we're going to talk about look, the design, themes, talking about plugins, tips and tricks, testing and more. I'm already sorry because I'm going to be quite fast. If you miss anything, don't worry, there will be a video and you can rewatch it again. So if you want to talk about or share my presentation, please use my Twitter handle, which is Christoph Rumpel, just my name in one word together. And I think we're ready for this talk. So let's skip the slides and dive right into PhpStorm. All right, so here we have it. This is a fresh install of PhpStorm, and we're going to use a fresh install of Laravel 7 for this demo. And yeah, let's take this setup to a master setup, a setup that you can work with. And yeah, the first thing that I always want to do is I want it to look nice, beautiful, and so that I can concentrate on the code. And I already see a few things here that I don't like. So for example, the font and the size of the font and the theme does not look that beautiful. So I think we can do better here. Then we have a lot of stuff happening in the corners, here, and also here in the top. You already see that PhpStorm has a lot of features and you can already see them at the beginning. But mostly we don't need them, and there are shortcuts to get there, so we don't need to see them all the time. So we also want to change this. But first, let's talk about the theme. So with PhpStorm, you can install a theme through a plugin. So let's go to the plugins page, and I have already one here, the material theme, and I'm now going to enable it. So it's one of the themes that many people already know, and it's really good. So I think we also need to apply it. And then we also need to restart our IDE. This will take a few seconds and then I think we will be back. Here PhpStorm is restarting again. And then what we next need to do is we need to change some settings of this theme. So what it provides us is a new setting under the settings preference. So when this is done here, let's do this. So now we are back with this new theme. And now inside our preferences, there is now a new setting page for our theme. So let's see, where do we have it? Here, material theme. Oh, let's put this here in the middle. So right now we're using Darkula for the colors, but I want to use the pale night. So let's use this, and I also want the contrast mode so that we really can good read the font and the text. Let's apply this. And here we go. Now we have these new beautiful colors and it already looks much better to me. Okay, what else do we need to do? Let's talk about the font that we're using. So right now we are using the Menlo font and the size of 12. And I want to change this to the Firo code font, which I really like. And I'm going to use a size of 20, not 200, and a line space of 1.6. And I also want to do the same now for our console font. But for that, we can leave the Menlo font. So let's apply this. And yeah, as you already can see now, this looks much better. Maybe we go with the size to 18. I think a little bit smaller could be better here. And let's also do this for the console. Oh, we already did for the console, now for the main font. Oh, 18, yeah, that's good. So this, and yeah, here for the console font. Now this is what I meant. Let's use 18 here as well. Apply it, and here we go. So now you can see here for our console font and for the main font, we have now, yeah, nice looking font, which is good to read. And I really like this. So what you've seen before here is I'm using a plugin which is showing the shortcuts that I'm using. And you already see that it's not that good to read because of our new theme. So let's change this. So this plugin is called Presentation Assistant, and it just shows every shortcut that I'm using so that you can use it too. And if you rewatch the video, you can see the shortcuts that I've been using. And we want to change now the colors. So for the background, I want to have something light here, maybe lighter gray. Yeah, and then for the foreground, I want something more darker, maybe like that. Okay, let's try this out. Okay, this is now much better. Now you can read the shortcuts that I'm using here. This is good. So I'm fine now with the theme and the colors, but here you can see there are some icons for the files that we're using, but not for all of them. So let's change this as well. And there's also a plugin which is called, I think it was Atomic Material Icons. And I also have installed it. I'm now going to enable it. So this was a little bit faster now for this demo. And now you can see that we get here these nice little icons for all the different file extensions that we have. There's a little mouse here for the editor config. And yeah, I also think this makes it more readable here. And also we have these nice icons for the folders. So I'm pretty happy with that. But now let's talk about all these features that we see here at the top and the bottom. Again, I don't need to see them all the time, so I want to get rid of them. Luckily with PhpStorm we have this global search, and in the search we can change a lot of the settings already. So first I'm going to hide the toolbar. This is the one that we see here for project, structure, commit, favorites, to do, terminal, all these things. And I think it's this one here. Yeah, so now the toolbar is gone, and it's pretty cool how you can enable and disable it inside this global search. Next, let's talk about the status bar. That's the one here at the bottom. I also don't need this information, so I'm just going to get rid of that as well. Okay, much better already. What else? We have here these tabs for the files that we have been using currently. So mainly I use shortcuts to switch between files, so I don't need to see all of them here at the top. So what I'm always going to do is, not in the settings, but inside the global search, I can check for the tab placement. And here you can see we have defined it at the top. You can put it on the right, on the left as well, but I like to get rid of them. So let's put it to none, and then you don't see it anymore. Okay, this is much better to me. Now the only thing we have here is the navigation bar, which just tells us about the file where we're inside the user file. And then we have this breadcrumb bar, the button, which just tells us where we are inside a class or a file. Good, so next we want to talk about this corner here. So a lot of things going on. First, let's talk about these browser icons. So you can use them to open a file in the browser, but mostly with PHP files. I don't need this. So let's search again with our global search for, it's called browser pop-ups. And now we need to go to the preference to change this. And when we now click this, they are gone now. So this means now they don't come here again in our top right corner, and we don't need them. Okay, one last thing here are all these icons here, and they are part of the menus and toolbars. So when we search for that here in our preferences, we have this page, menus and toolbars, and here you can define everything from your from all the things that are listed here in this navigation to all the things that are here, and you can change it to your needs. So we're going to start with the main toolbar. That's what this here is. And here we have the toolbar run actions. Let me just shorten this a little. Can I do this? Nope, don't think so. Okay. But still here with our run actions, we have here these buttons, these three, and then listen and stop. And these are all here. Okay, now you can see it. They are all here, these ones. So now we can delete them here with this minus icon, remove them, and then apply it. And now you can see they are gone now. If you do anything wrong here, you can always go here to restore all the settings, and then you're good again. So you just test it out for yourself. Then we also have here now this configuration drop down. That's this one here. And we remove this as well. Good, and now we have some Git icons. So these are now part of the navigation bar toolbar, this bar here. And under this VCS group. So let's select all of them and remove them again, and as well as these two. These two are also here part of this navigation bar. And now voila, all of them are gone. So you can see it's pretty easy to change and modify the IDE to your needs, and I think this is really important to do this because you need to feel comfortable and you want to write good code, and I like writing good code in a theme that looks good like this. So I'm pretty happy about the look and this theme now. Okay, so what next? I have just a list here on the side. So now let's talk about shortcuts. So inside our settings, we have a section for all these shortcuts under key map. So here you can find all the shortcuts available, and there are tons of them. And it's really important that you start looking at those and also modify them to your needs so that you can use them easily. So for example, for navigating, I'm using them all the time, like using here the sidebar, or maybe showing the recent files, so the ones that I've been using so far, or I can search for a specific class or for a specific file, or the global search that we've been using. So for all these things, I'm going to use a shortcut because I'm much faster. And since we're using our IDE like all day, almost the whole week, so it's good to be as efficient as possible. And this is what we want to do while using our shortcuts. So please use them. And two features here that I really like and some people don't know is, let's go to a file like this kernel here, and now we are here, and then we go down here to this. Now when I now open the recent location pop-up, you can not only see the file that I've been using, but also the location where I was inside this file. So when I go back now to this, the cursor brings me back to this location where I have been. And there are also 2 shortcuts to use that, navigate back and navigate forward. And I use this a lot when I dig into any core files of a package or of Laravel and I want to get back to a previous cursor location. So this is also a feature that I really like, and you should also remember the shortcuts because yeah, you get pretty fast while using them. So yeah, of course, I also want to talk a little bit about the terminal. So I'm using the terminal of PhpStorm because it's already in there. You can easily show and hide it whenever you need. And I don't want to switch to another app when I have a terminal already here and it works pretty well. So make sure to also use this. Next here, I mentioned we have here Laravel application. So of course we also have tests. So let's go to this unit test here. And so how can we run tests? Of course we can use just the terminal and run PHP unit and it will run our test. So this is working as well. And of course we can also use it to define a specific test that you want to use, or also filter it to a specific method like this. So this is also working. But what I like to use a special shortcut in PhpStorm to run this test and PHP unit inside of PhpStorm. So let's go back to the key map. And now I'm going to search for run context configuration. This one here. And let's add a shortcut. Let's remove the given one and override it. Yeah, so I have it now as my shortcut. So this means now with the shortcut, when I'm running it, it will run the current context. So this means when I'm inside this method here, it will run this test. If my cursor is here, it will run the all the tests from this test file. But before that, so the first time we run it, it will tell us that we haven't configured PhpStorm yet and PHP. So we're going to use PHP 7.4 and we need to tell PhpStorm where PHP lives for our console. And I'm using here local installation and this PHP 7.4 version. Okay, let's apply this. Back here, apply, and now we can run it. So to demonstrate you this again, I'm going to copy this test here and let's give it a different name. So now inside here, when I run this command, I'm going to run this test here. If I'm here, I'm going to run this test here. But if I'm in between, I'm going to test both of them. So let's make this bigger here so that you can see it. Yeah, now 2 tests with 2 assertions are passing. And this was how you can easily set up PhpStorm and then you can already use it. And with this run context configuration command, it's pretty cool to just test the things that you need. Basically, I'm working on one test and afterwards I'm going to run the whole file to see that all the tests are working as well. So this is how I love running my test inside of PhpStorm. Okay, next on my list, we also want to talk a little bit about Laravel. So Laravel has some kind of magic. We have the facades, we have some hidden features, and your IDE does not always know about what's going on, and has some problems with autocomplete, for example. So there is a package that helps us a lot dealing with this. So it's this IDE helper package by Barry. It's out there for years already, and people love it. And it helps our IDE to understand the things that are maybe not so obvious for the IDE, what works how inside of Laravel. So there's one command for the models and one for the facades. So let's begin with the facades. This will give us an IDE helper file. And here we have it. And it just tells PhpStorm which facades there are and what are the methods that we can use. And now when you're using a facade, you can easily use the methods because you get autocomplete inside your editor. So for example, let's go to our main route file. And here you can see when I'm using the route facade, I easily see now all the methods that I can use on this facade. And again, when we're using this facade here, we're actually using an underlying class which is being used. So as you can see now, we are here in the router, and this is the method that we're actually using when using this get method. So this helps us a lot. And also what I really like is the second comment that we can use for models. So let's try this out as well. It will ask us if we want to override the existing model files. And yes, I want to do this. And now inside our user model, that's the only model that we have right here. At the top, you can see, yeah, we have a big doc block here with a lot of information about the class. And what's pretty cool here, we have the fields now. The ID field, the name field, the email field, all the fields that we have been using in our migration when we created the database table. And now this means inside our route, for example, when I create a new user, let's do this really quick. So now IDE knows about the fields like the email or like the ID. And this helps me and you, of course, a lot while working on your projects, because maybe you don't know the exact name of the email field or a different field, and you can just get it here through PhpStorm, and I really love those features. So this is how this package from Barry helps you a lot. Additional to these packages, there are also two more packages. So let me show this, two more plugins that you can use with PhpStorm. And now here, when I look for Laravel under the marketplace, you can see there are two packages. The first one, Laravel, has been here for quite some time, and it works really well to help PhpStorm understand even more about your Laravel code and provide you more features to use it, like auto completion. And then we also have this new Laravel IDE package, which you have to pay for, and this provides even more features and a lot of file generation stuff. So I would recommend checking both of them out. I don't have enough time to show them, but check them out. They are pretty cool, and I would recommend using at least one of them. All right, next on my list, let me see. I'm almost finished with the stuff I wanted to show. There are just some little tips and tricks that I want to show you. So first, there is under the help section, there is this productivity guide. And this is pretty interesting. Mine is quite empty because I have a fresh install of PhpStorm here, but it shows you all the features and shortcuts that you have been using. And you can check how often you have used them. So for example, I have been using the search everywhere now 22 times. And then on the second place here, 12 times the recent files features. And it also shows you the shortcut and what it does. And this is pretty cool because it shows you what you've been using the last weeks and month a lot, and maybe you find some new features that you're not using that much, like this one, for example, or another one, and maybe you can check out and try it out as well. And maybe what I'm going to do later now is I'm going to make a screenshot of my, let's say, top 10 features that I'm using and also how much, and I'm going to share it then on Twitter. Maybe you can do this as well, and maybe I find some features that you're using that I could use as well, or the other way around. I really like that. So please go ahead and share this, and let's take all a look about our favorite PhpStorm shortcuts, aka features. Okay, next. Raincloud. So if you're not a fan of the material theme, you can check out Raincloud. It's a project by Dale Reese, also a known member of the Laravel community, and he has 320 themes for you. So if you scroll down here, you can see he has a lot of different color schemes that you can use for all your IDEs. This is not only PhpStorm, you can use it for all your editors. And I'm pretty sure you will find a lot of them here. So I, for example, also like these ones, this light one here, and also this dark one here. I think they look pretty dope, and I also like to switch my themes like every 1 or 2 years because yeah, it's just very refreshing for your IDE and also for your eyes because you see it all day. And I think it's good if you can change this. So check out this package. I really love his themes. Okay, last on my list here, another plugin. So let's go to the plugins page again, and there is one more plugin that I have installed but not enabled. It's called PHP Inspections. Let's apply it, and I think I also need to restart it, yeah. So this is a package my friend Adrian recommended to me, so thank you, Adrian. And what it does, it's like a static analyzer for your code, and it works on top of the analyzers that PhpStorm does already. And it has some pretty cool opinionated features, so maybe this is not for everyone, but I really like it, and I'm going to show you what it does with a little example that I have prepared. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to create a new Scratch file. Let's also get rid of this notice here. So Scratch file, if you don't know it, it's like a test file. It's not really part of the project, and you can easily delete it again. And I have here prepared some code from a class called CSV Loader. This is a class that I have been using in a project. It's a little bit older, but here I have some things that this package will show us that the package don't like, and where the package thinks that we can improve. So after indexing, we will be ready to check this out. So yeah, here we go. So first, PhpStorm doesn't know yet about that we're using 7.4. So let's change this by going to the PHP settings. Here we go. PHP, and then down here we should see the PHP version that we can pick. And we want to pick 7.4. Yeah, let's do this. So now PhpStorm knows about these type properties, so we're good here. But the next thing we see here, so this underline means there's a warning. And what this does, it says this new plugin tells us property is used only in the constructor. Perhaps we're dealing with that code here. And this is true. This is something that I refactored out of this class here. This means we don't need this anymore, and now our IDE helped us finding this. And we can also get rid of this property here now. Next here, what do we have? Unused element, excited size. Okay, this is one thing, and the next thing is more interesting to me. Bool can be declared as a return type. And I like to have return types because this way I don't need to have to write the stock blocks, because now I already know what is important for this method here, and this package helped us out here. And it also has something to tell about this code here. The property size is not found. Okay, this is another problem. That's not interesting, but here you can see the expression can be safely replaced with just a comparison. So this means this is the same as this here. And now our code is already a little bit nicer, because this also returns true or false, depending on the comparison. And next here, yeah, down here we have another one. Let's say what our plugin is saying. Assignment here is not making much sense. Yeah. So what it means is that we are assigning here this string to this path here, but we don't use it anymore because we are directly returning it. So if it mostly doesn't make sense to keep this here, and then we would get rid of this, because less code means less code to maintain and means better to read for everybody else. And these were just a few of the features that this plugin provides, and I really find it helpful. So please check this out here as well. Okay, cool. So we've been talking about the theme, we've been talking about the font, the size, we have modified the look of the editor with all the icons we want to see. We've been talking about the key map, the shortcuts that you can use, and some nice helpers. We talked about PHP on it and some of my favorite tips and tricks. Of course, there is more, but I think that's enough for this video here. So thank you very much for following along. Let me just go back to my slides. Again, if you have any questions about PhpStorm or want to share your features, maybe there's something that I don't know yet. So yeah, please share it. Let's talk about it on Twitter. Use my Twitter handle. And yeah, pretty interested in what you think of my master setup and if there's anything that you would add, for example. If you're interested in more stuff of what I do, I have this course running called Laravel Core Adventures, where I teach about how Laravel works under the hood, which I think is also pretty important. There are a lot of free videos out there that you can go and watch on the site laravelcoreadventures.com. But also if you want to learn more, there are more videos for the pro members, and today you get a minus 15% discount with the coupon code LCA-loves-Laracon, and you will find the checkout page on laravelcoreadventures.com pro. So if you're interested in this, please also check this out. Again, thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed this talk. Please let me know on Twitter. Let's talk in the chat. Let's all have together a great day. Thank you all the others for the talks and the talks coming. And yeah, see you around. Thank you. Bye.
Do you want your online store to be ultra-fast, fully customized to your needs, and scalable to more than 1 billion items? IMEOS is an ultra-fast PHP e-commerce framework. IMEOS, next level e-commerce. Try it now.
If you're running an application at scale in public or private clouds, you have to tame almost boundless complexity. Datadog brings together all this observability data with infrastructure metrics, traces, and logs in one integrated platform.
Vonage is a cloud communication platform that lets you integrate voice, video, and messaging into your applications. We have a load of helper libraries, including a Laravel package and a client library for PHP. You can find out more about us at developer.nexmo.com.